And Lester Young gave up playing the drums and took up the saxophone because he said that all the pretty girls had left the gig by the time he'd finished packing away his drums, and so he reckoned that he'd have a better chance if he took up the saxophone. Good morning, welcome to today's vlog. Got your mug yet? Sent mugs all over the world already, and there are a few left, so make sure you check them out. But today is day 5 of our Saxophone Advent Calendar, and here is day 5. Day 3, 2's falling out. Day 5. Today is President's Day. Lester Young was born in 1909 in Woodville, Mississippi, but grew up in New Orleans. His family ran a band, they toured all through the South, and Young played many different instruments, violin, clarinet, and a few other things, but mainly drums. And Lester Young gave up playing the drums and took up the saxophone because he said that all the pretty girls had left the gig by the time he'd finished packing away his drums, and so he reckoned that he'd have a better chance if he took up the saxophone. Lester Young left his family band partly due to the effects of his abusive father, but also the fact that he had just grown tired of the Jim Crow laws and some of the other nasty things that were going around in America at that time. He left and took jobs with various different bands until he ended up learning how to hitch a ride on a train by a group of hobos and ended up in Kansas City. Kansas City in the 1930s was one of the most corrupt towns in America, but had an incredible music scene. The jam sessions used to go on all night. Lester Young, Coleman Hawkins used to have these epic battles in Kansas City. Lester Young had a very, very different sound from the other preeminent saxophone player of the time, and that was Coleman Hawkins. And one of the things that's really important to notice is how important that Kansas City scene was in developing the saxophone as an instrument in jazz. Now, Lester Young would have been a very important saxophone player had he not influenced the likes of Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, Stan Getz, and continue and continue and continue and continue. He is just an incredibly important player in the development of the saxophone in jazz, and I would say the development of the saxophone in the 20th century, therefore. But he's also incredibly important in terms of all soloists in jazz. His recordings with Billie Holiday are just for me, the perfect example of how an instrumentalist should accompany a vocal line. Billie Holiday always stressed that her relationship with Lester Young was purely platonic. She gave him the nickname The President, he gave her the nickname Lady Day. My neck this morning sleeping anyway. How Lester Prez ever played the tenor like that? Beyond me. The argument was he played like that because to reach the microphone on stage, I much prefer playing like this. That's from a tune called Back to the Land, which Lester Young recorded with Buddy Rich on drums and listed as A Guy on piano. A Guy was actually Nat King Cole, who was a very, very fine stride piano player. He's on a lot of those Lester Young records. I think Norman Granz put them together. I might be wrong. I'm sure you'll correct me at the bottom. But yeah, check out those. And there's quite a number of transcription projects on my neck of Lester Young on the Cambridge Saxophone website, including this fantastic one with Billie Holiday. Just such beautiful lyrical lines. It's just, I could listen to that Billie Holiday and Lester Young, especially for me if I've had rotten days. That music is just lifted spirits. It's just such beautiful, beautiful stuff. And in a way, as a musician, that's what I've always deep down tried to do. Sod the technical stuff and all that stuff. Just, you know, can you lift people's spirits? Can you take them out of those things or allow them to be in that dark place and then come from it? I think that's what all great musicians can do. And there you go, Lester Young. I better get on with the rest of my practice. just going through on the piano, mainly because my neck is killing me, this music, so I need to prepare people. But this iGig book, which I've normally said is a really good app, has been a real pain because I need to create a new set, and look what happens when I go new set. The app crashes. I really need that functionality right now. iGig book, it's not very good for you to be doing that. By the way, do you like our Christmas tree? It's been up for a while actually. Anyway, tonight we're heading to the Panto. Oh yes we are.
I did that.
Did what? Go on. Okay. Down. Press down. There you go. Press 0. Hold my hand. Charlie the bears. Seats between when you've got 1,000 subscribers and nearly 4,000 subscribers. Yeah? Kids, is it good? Would you recommend your friends to go to it? Well, that's about all for tonight. Thank you very much for watching today's vlog. If you're in Cambridge, get here. Go and see the Panto if you've got kids. It's amazing. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.